All right, let's try it again. Eku Oshe Ifa. Oshe Eshu. May Eshu open the doors for us and close the doors on our enemies. And may we always walk in the goddess and the light of Ifa. So it's your boy Ifa Bileki. I'm going to try this again. Last time I was doing it, it was turning green. I don't know why. So I was telling a story about jump school. When I first learned how to jump out of airplanes, and all the things that it took before that, and you know, the things that I saw and the things that I experienced on the way to doing that. Also, there was a story from my childhood where this dude, his name was Jimmy Booger, and so Jimmy Booger, his parents was in the military too, but we was all about 8 years old, and Jimmy used to like torment us, so to speak. He's a dick, put his finger up his nose, and he would chase us around with it. He'd even touch us. And we was terrified. So one day, I felt like there was a time for a change. There's time for a change because I no longer wanted to be in that position. I no longer wanted to have fear of this dude wiping his boogers on us. You know? Or even just going into the military at a later age. There was things that we don't necessarily know what the future holds, but we have to go forward. So we can't be held back because of what other people think we should do or what we think we should do sometimes. Especially when we're dealing with Ifa and we're dealing with Orisha. There's a lot of times where we should move and we shouldn't when we haven't. And there's times where we haven't moved and we should have. You know, so in Ogbe Se, it talks about this. Ifa talks about this. And so Sekèseké is the leg iron. And this stanza goes as such. To be nailed down and incapacitated. These were Ifa's declarations to Sekèseké, the leg irons, who was going to engage in the business of incapacitating people. He was advised to offer up, but he complied. Not too long, not too far. Join us where we enjoy victory. Ifa guarantees victory to all its followers. So sometimes moving forward in life or making any decision, we kind of like, there's fear. There's apprehension. There's reluctance. Because it's something that's unknown. You know, or you know, sometimes we can't fully commit to a relationship because there's fear. Sometimes we can't do the job we need to do because we don't want to leave home. But with Ifa, we have a role to play with our spouses. We have a role to play in our community. We have a role to play in the world, and we can't be held incapacitated by fear. So like a lot of times oh man, I'm not gonna look the fool. But you can't look the fool when you dealing with Ifa. There should be no fear. There should be only us moving in accordance with our destiny and what Olodumare has said for us. The only thing that can stand in our way is our own Ori. So sometimes we got to take the chains off. We got to take the chains off, you know, because you'll never try nothing new to eat. Hi, Crystal. Crystal, we at home. Crystal, we at home. So we have to be, what's the word? Outgoing? No, we have to be more, you know, assertive when it comes to making decisions, when it comes to doing things with our life. You know what I mean? If I allow us to wait, if there's, sometimes it's not us holding us back, it's other people holding us back. But keep it pushing. So I guess the message is, don't hold yourself back and don't be held back. Because we all have a position to play. Who would have known that I'd be in our? You know what I mean? Who would have known that I'd be where I'm at today? And it's because of what Ifa said. I couldn't not do it. I don't have a choice. It's my destiny. So each one of you got a destiny as well. Whether it's you in a relationship or at your job or helping people or doing these different things, you can't hold yourself back. And you can't be held back. Like the leg irons. Anybody ever been to jail? I have. When they pull them cuffs out, man, you be like, oh shit. Aboye Shay. So the story that goes along with this is that the leg irons wanted to be relevant in life. But the leg irons wasn't content with just the relevance that he was being used the world over. He wanted to instill fear, because it was the fear that incapacitated people more than having the leg irons on. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. The fear of having the leg irons on was incapacitated people more than having the handcuffs or the leg cuffs on. I've been locked up. You know what I mean? It's that whole thing. The wind blowing. It's that whole thing about, oh man, I'm going to jail. That's worse than going to jail, for real. You know what I mean? So it's the fear of a thing before we even get there. You understand what I'm saying? The fear of getting in a fight is worse than the fight. You know? The fear of how somebody sees you is different than how it really is. So like, when we move with Ifa guarantees us success. It says it in the stanza. Before long, not too far. Join us where we enjoy victory. Ifa guarantees victory for all its followers. So let's remove the negativity. Let's remove fear. Let's remove the obstacles that we place on ourselves and the ones that other people's place on us. Let's take that energy that we put into fear and put into motivation, assertiveness, persistence. So that's it for me, man. It's your boy Ifa Bileke, Awo Gang Gang, Aburu, Aboye, Aboshishe.